Welcome to Ohio Mysteries. I'm Steve.
And I'm Paula, and we have been doing a podcast for nearly 4 years, sharing all kinds of diverse mysteries about the Buckeye State.
Now, we are slowly but surely working to move our episodes to YouTube.
So every other week, we'll give the full visual treatment to an episode. Images, videos, documents, whatever we can find. We did that last week. We'll give you another one next week.
And in between, you'll get what we're doing today, the audio of one of our short 10-minute mysteries. We'll throw a few images in there too.
So today, we have a mystery out of the period of World War II. A woman found dead in East Liverpool, naked, wrapped in a blanket, and tossed to the side of the road.
I remember this one. They called her Carnival Girl because one theory was that she'd come to town traveling with a carnival, right?
Yeah, that's the one. They never identified her, but not for lack of trying. More than 1,500 people went to view her body at the funeral home to try and figure out who she was so they could send her home. So, without further delay, Ohio Mysteries presents Who is Carnival Girl?
And folks, if you enjoy these stories, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future episodes.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to Ohio Mysteries. This is one of our occasional 10-minute mystery editions. A little slice of intrigue in the middle of your week. I'm your co-host, Steve Yoder, and with me is our storyteller and journalist, Paula Schleiss.
Hi, everybody.
Paula, what's today's story?
This one is out of East Liverpool, a town on the Ohio River and right next to the Pennsylvania and West Virginia borders. It's June 3rd, 1944, and the front page of the East Liverpool Evening Review is filled with World War II news of Allies fighting the Japanese in India and Burma and getting ready to take Rome from the Nazis. But a small story on the bottom talks about different violence much closer to home. A local man has discovered the body of a dead woman. It's the third for this area in 4 years, and local authorities admit they are frustrated that they haven't even been able to solve the first two yet. This latest victim had been discovered just that morning by Sam Winters. He's an 18-year-old high school football star who works the night shift at the Pittsburgh Crucible Steel Plant in Midland, Pennsylvania. He takes the Midland to East Liverpool bus to work and back, and had been returning home at 7:30 that morning when he got off the bus at Mulberry Street. He was walking along State Street when he came across a startling sight. There were 2 worn green blankets trussed up with clothesline and 2 bare feet sticking out. Sam raced to the nearest phone and rang the police. Sergeant Herman Roth responded. He confirmed what Winters had seen, then he left Sam to guard the site while he went to get the cavalry. The city police, the county sheriff, and the coroner's office move in. Wrapped inside the blankets was a young woman, mid-20s, with chestnut hair. She's 5'6", 125 pounds. She's lying on her back in a patch of weeds, about 8 feet from the road and near the Pittsburgh Railroad underpass. She's naked, except for a torn pink slip pulled up under her arms and a pair of small hoop earrings in her pierced ears. She's dead, but she's still warm. Coroner Arnold Devon estimates she probably only died 2 hours earlier. He finds bruises to her left shoulder at the base of her neck. That, and some discoloration on her face, suggests she has been strangled, though Devon can't be sure if hands or a rope were used. Columbia County Sheriff George Hayes makes plaster casts of tire marks in the cinder roadbed in case he ever finds a suspect's car with which to match them. He never will. Her fingerprints are sent to the FBI in Washington to see if they match anything on their cards. They won't. All local police officers are called back to duty to help speed up identification. A photo is taken of the woman's face, her eyes peacefully closed, and they're circulated at taverns, beer parlors, and restaurants. No one can name her, though a few say she looked a bit familiar. There are many leads to follow, and one that seems promising is the Sheasley Carnival, which had come to town earlier that week and set up at a local park. The carnival left behind boxes of refuse, and a man, searching through the trash for material to build a tent for he and his children, came across a box with 2 torn dresses and a ripped skirt. Were they hers? Could she have been a member of the traveling show? Well, Sheriff Hayes finds a photo of 5 dancing girls in what the carnival billed as its Gay New Yorkers Review. It was taken during a performance at the park. One of the ladies in the picture did indeed resemble the dead woman. At first, Hayes is told the girl in the picture had failed to show up for 2 performances in Lima, where the carnival headed next. But his trip to Lima was wasted. The girl in the photo had been accounted for. He tells this to East Liverpool police in a telegram that he dispatches immediately after learning this. But the brief interest in the carnival led to a name that the girl would now carry forever: Carnival Girl. There was another hopeful lead. A man on St. George Street, not far from where the body was found, said he was pulling into his garage at 4:10 a.m. Saturday when he passed a car on the road. He thought it peculiar that the car switched off its lights as it pulled onto State Street near the railroad underpass. It was suspicious enough that the man glanced at the license plate, and though he didn't get a number, he recalled they were not the blue and white colors of Ohio's tags. He was certain there was only one silhouette in the car: the driver. The lack of identity for the girl attracted authorities and families from all over, hoping she might be the loved one they were missing. Calls came in from throughout the Midwest and as far as the East Coast, but she didn't match any of their descriptions. More than 1,500 people came to Dawson Funeral Home in East Liverpool to view the body. Many of them were probably gawkers, but all in a futile attempt to give her a real name. On June 6, 2 days after she was discovered, a simple service for Carnival Girl was held. She was eventually buried in an unmarked grave in Spring Grove Cemetery. Those other 2 victims, frustrating East Liverpool police, never got justice either. Mrs. Julia Wall was strangled in 1940. Her body was found fully clothed in a red dress and imitation Persian lamb coat. She was missing her shoes. She had been folded over and stuffed into a potato barrel, to be discovered by a rabbit hunter about 6 hours after her death. A suspect in that case was brought to trial. He was a former admirer in whose apartment her gold wedding ring was found, but a jury acquitted him. Then in 1942, Mrs. Johnny Lyons, a young East End wife, was found behind a billboard on Route 30 north of the city limits. Her remains were partially decomposed. She wore only stockings, 1 shoe, and a hair ribbon. The coroner concluded she had been strangled. Several suspects were held for a time, but there wasn't enough evidence to charge anyone. Police did not think these 3 crimes were the work of the same man, but the proximity of the crime scenes linked these cases in the public under the name the River Road Murders.
That's it for today, folks. Come back next week for one of our longer episodes with the full video treatment.
And if you're into podcasts, be sure to look for Ohio Mysteries on your favorite podcast app. We produce brand new stories every Sunday and Wednesday night.